you guys can hear me. I hope you're having a good day. Um, Thank you for joining stream. I don't know where I was going with that, to be honest. Just hello. So, on stream today, I'm gonna be working on another animatic for the series that I'm kind of getting grips and starting to work on. Which is it's under the title of Legend of the Disaster Party, which I think might stick, it might not. We will see. But I'm gonna be working on that animatic next. I still have tiny frogs because last stream we were kind of spawning in a whole bunch for pretty much in celebration for hitting 1K. Which, speaking of hitting 1K, definitely have something planned for that. I probably should post about that, but I feel like it would be fun to see if I can get at least how close to 1,000 of these little guys I can try and get on stream, and then 2, I would absolutely love to play some like Gartic phone with some people. I feel like that would be also something fun to do for like a 1K celebration. But all that stuff would be like happening on like Friday or something. So right now it is working on animatic time. For this animatic, it's actually the settings that I have are very similar to the first one that I did. Basically it's 30 frames per second. What is different about this one is, so the song that I wanted to kind of like, base this kind of animatic off of is Down by the Garden by Happy and Winks. Absolutely love Winks' music. You all should check it out if you haven't already. But I absolutely love the song. I definitely recommend checking it out. Hold up. Brain is processing, trying to think of where to go. But pretty much, the song, the kind of snippet that I wanted to use from it was longer than like 60 seconds. Therefore, it wouldn't be able to be a YouTube short. So I decided for this one, I'm gonna be doing it as a horizontal ratio, 1920 by 1080. That way, I can actually upload it as like a regular YouTube video, and then I'll probably do edits to make it a short and to make it a reel on Insta. But for right now, I won't really play through what I have because it's pretty much just whatchamacallit. It's literally just the thumbnail drawings thus far, so not anything like too concrete. I haven't even finished the thumbnail drawings. I still have like a good 30 seconds left to do. But we're not going to be focusing on that right now. What I'm probably going to be doing today is doing some backgrounds. Because, nothing's more fun than just drawing some gosh darn backgrounds, at least for me. So, maybe at end of stream, after or while counting frogs, I'll have this play on repeat or something. Again, I don't really have too much done of it yet, so the thumbnails and everything are like super rough. That being said, I'm gonna start on the backgrounds, and no one can stop me. Will be kind of hard because I'm actually gonna have to try and do perspective, and I don't know if I want to try and do perspective. I'm a little eepy sleepy today. I feel like I've said that for like the majority of like all of the streams I've been doing recently, but oh boy, am I eepy. So stream might not be too long, but I will at least try and get some of these backgrounds. thing is, like compared to the last little animatic that I did, uh, a lot less backgrounds because the second half pretty much cuts out backgrounds almost entirely. Hello, Spirit Berry, welcome! Hope you're having a good day so far. You know what? I'm just gonna go straight into line art. We're gonna see where that's gonna take us. Probably not the best idea, but you know what? Screw it. You only live once, am I right? Gotta add some fancy columns and everything up in here. For the last animatic I did, I had a very kind of like specific style I was going for some of the backgrounds, especially towards the beginning. This one is less so. This one's kind of just feeling it by vibes, you know? I still find it crazy that like, dude, the last animatic that was posted has almost hit like 50K. That's insane to me. But I'm really glad that people have been enjoying it so far. It makes me really happy and want to work on series like this a little bit more often, you know? Also, if my mic is a little quieter than usual, I really hope it isn't. Just let me know and I'll try and adjust it. I accidentally bumped my mic, so the gain got a little messed up. And as per usual, I did not test my sound before I started stream because, I don't know, I'm anti-sound, I guess. It either works or it doesn't, so. Anyone here working on something fun so far? I'm up here just doodling away. It'd be cool to learn what everyone else is kind of working on so far. Alright. Because besides doing this, like working on this animatic, I've pretty much only been reading webcomics today, which is not very cash money of me. I should probably be being more productive, but listen, sometimes that webcomic is just good, and you just gotta read it. Therefore, I did. And literally spent probably 6 hours catching up on a webcomic that I kind of forgot about, which was great because it's always nice to read things consecutively rather than wait each week for something to be updated. From Spirit Berry, you finished 2 Halloween drawings! Oh, awesome! You won't show them until it's closer to October? That's 100% fair. I mean, I'm still in disbelief that it's already September 10th. Already a quarter the way through September, and I feel I don't know, that's blasphemous to me. Don't ask me why, this year has been going by both the fastest ever and the slowest ever. I feel each day feels so long, and yet you look back and you're like, oh no, it's already been 3 weeks since that happened or something. At least that's my 2024 experience so far. Here we are. I know, but I definitely am excited for October, aka spooky month. I don't think I'll probably like actually like dress up for Halloween or anything, but I am excited to do Inktober. I did take a look at some of the Inktober whatchamacallit, like some of the prompts that they have. I feel like it'd be super fun to do another 30-day series, kind of like the art fight series that I tried to do, or I did, where I do a 30-day series, but this time Inktober, and I don't know. I've been kind of on a D&D character creating kick right now, so I feel like it would be super fun to design D&D characters per each prompt. From Spirit Bear, you know, it's getting closer to something. You've been waiting for a while? Oh, cool! It's always nice when, like, an anticipated date actually, like, you know, happens and shows up. Very excited for you. Ghost of Odelian, did I hear D&D? Hello, Ghost! Yes, you did hear D&D. That's, like, pretty much my entire personality, to be honest, is Minecraft and D&D, which I think reflects a lot in my art, because I think that's that's a decent amount of what I draw, is just literal, like, D&D campaign fan art for my own D&D campaign. So, but yeah, you totally did hear D&D. I know, if I were to look at the prompts right now for Inktober, let me... Because they were some decent prompts. Sometimes it's kind of hit or miss, but this time they were some pretty good prompts. If I could even find the prompt list. Hello? They posted it somewhere on their, I think it was their Instagram page. I can't find it right now, unfortunately, but from Ghost, D&D is the best personally to have from a totally not biased source. Exactly. 100% not biased. From Spiritberry, Spirit will be turned into a marketable plushie soon. Nice! I remember you were talking about that. Congratulations! Only if they choose you, though. You know, that's fair. That's fair. Is it like a giveaway? There we go. Gotta erase that. Trying to make these lines a little bit more straight because I like made them a little messed up. That's better. That's better. I know. Speaking of marketable plushes and D&D characters, I think I've mentioned this before, but I have a marketable plush of like a few characters from the campaign. And man, boy is looking so rough. I like totally, when I was making him, kind of, I'm not gonna say botched it, but definitely took some shortcuts and paying for it down the line. Unfortunately, I still think he's like the plushies that we got out of it were cute. It'd be fun to remake them though. Gotta try and get these lines perfectly fine. There we go. Also, let me know if there's any connectivity issues, because I have been having the worst time ever with my Wi-Fi recently. Yesterday, I was trying to play some you know, some games with friends, trying to grind out getting some like cool weapons and stuff, and I got kicked like consecutively for a whole 30 minutes straight. So From Spearberry, no, it's a commission, but there's a chance you won't get picked. Oh no, since there's other people wanting to commission them too. That's fair, that's fair. Hello, Ally Heart, welcome! Thank you for popping in. Alright. I have no idea what this background is gonna look like in the end. Because this background is pretty much like generic temple setting. Grandiose and stuff, but I really kind of just... I don't know, sometimes I just like the trope of like something looking like a generic blank. But I feel like I'm just gonna continue with that, because I am a little too lazy to look up some references right now. And unlike many places in this kind of universe, don't actually have many references for the place I'm currently drawing right now. Alihar asked how everyone is today. I'm doing well. I pretty much spent all of today reading webcomics and eating ranch rice. And if you're curious about what ranch rice is, it's just a white rice with a bunch of ranch in it. I don't recommend it. I mean, honestly, it's not that bad. I was just too lazy to make anything of substance. And so ranch and rice. Which, I mean, probably isn't, like, the most odd combination. I'm sure there is a lot weirder food combinations. Oh, you've had a bit of a hard day, Ally Heart. I'm so sorry. I hope it gets better. Or at least tomorrow is a brand new day, as people say. So hopefully tomorrow will be better. You're doing... Ally, are you doing better now? Especially since your favorite streamer is on. Oh, thank you. I'm glad I can at least make your day a little bit better. Alright. Contemplating, because I have like these random arches in the background. I'm contemplating whether I actually want to do that or not. You know what? I might have to just pull up Pinterest real quick, because I need some gosh darn references. I had like a really big scare on Pinterest for a hot second, because I was like scrolling through Pinterest and I got a notification that, I don't know why, but it was like, you've been copyright strike like on Pinterest, and I'm like, what do you mean copyright stricken on Pinterest? I just had a pin that someone else had taken without someone else's consent, so that was definitely scary, because all I saw like in my inbox was like, you have a copyright strike, and I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, you posted the comic collab? It was posted on the 7th? I have unfortunately not hopped on Tumblr, but I will immediately check that out after stream. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I'm sorry I joined on Tumblr just to like peruse, especially to see you and Spiritberry's stuff, and I have not been catching up with it, but I will 100% see it after stream. I'm so excited. Thank you for letting me know. And then from Alihar, architecture is hard. Dude, architecture is very hard. It's pretty hard for me, because I don't have, I really try to have, like, a good mental library of a lot of resources, and unfortunately, interiors is something that I don't have a lot of, references for. exteriors, however, I do. Interiors, I don't. And it doesn't help that, like, I don't really have, like, a theme for the inside of this, like, temple, pretty much, which is what it is. Except that it's like a generic temple, which is hard to look up references and add in stuff. Trying to find. Here we go. Boom. Pinterest. See if we can find some good references and stuff here. From Ally Heart, you're so excited as well. And also same there. The only backgrounds I do are somewhat good forests. Hey, forests are hard to draw. Organic backgrounds are a beast of their own. Because I have, for like, literally, I have like an entire board for just background reference. But the unfortunate part is I have not organized any of this. However, this right here is actually pretty cool. I might just yoink it from this, actually. It's been like 2 seconds of scrolling on Pinterest, and I feel like that's pretty good. Santo Domenico de la Calzada? Don't quote me on that, I'm awful with pronunciation. From Spiritberry, for one of the Halloween drawings that you did, you had finished. Oh, you had gotten out of your comfort zone, and you wanted to try it. You almost didn't want to try it, to be honest. Getting out of your comfort zone is always good. It just really takes a lot, and I can totally feel that. I feel like this is good because it's not too gothic. And I know it's weird because it's a picture of the ceiling. But, from Alahar, ooh, yeah, you struggled getting out of your comfort zone in art. However, you've recently been doing better about it recently. Heck yeah, I love that for you. Applause for both of you. I don't know, it's really hard to kind of, I guess, learn something new, especially when you enjoy what you're doing now. At least that's my experience with trying to get out of a comfort zone, especially in art. It's like, I really enjoy drawing blank things and getting out of your comfort zone. You're like, well, I want to do this new thing. I don't know if I'll enjoy drawing it, but it's always worth it, because complacency is probably the worst flaw anyone could have. At least that's in my experience. Trying to just scroll through and get a little bit more inspiration for the background. From Spiritberry, to give you an idea of what it looks like, you had to draw hands and organs. Ooh. 2 things you never draw? Absolute congratulations. Applause? I don't know if you can actually hear the clapping, but absolute applause. I'm very proud of you. I can't wait to hopefully see the art when it gets a little closer to October. I feel like that's gonna be super cool. And also, organs are very hard to draw. Especially, I don't know, as someone who's trying to really work on texture in my art, I know it's a weird thing to say, but organ texture is, pretty, I don't know, I haven't gotten it down yet. I'll definitely say that thing. is that in here? I don't think that's a background. Just... really trying to find like good archways or something, but I don't know if I saved many of those to this. This is a cool library though. 100% a cool library. You know what? This one's also cool. I know it's kind of weird to just be scrolling on Pinterest real quick to find some background references, so I apologize. I promise you this will hopefully be one of the last times I do it. We'll see. Alright. Cool. Let's figure this out now. I think I'm probably gonna do a sketch layer underneath just to get the vibes down real quick. Instead of heading in straight to line art, I was like, you know what? Balls to the wall. Let's go straight for line art. Let's skip the middleman. I regret doing that. It's always nice to speed up your art process, but sometimes you gotta slow it down just real quick, just to make sure you're not missing anything. Alright. These are very segmented and columny, so at least I have that down. No, I'm gonna sketch in pink. That way it's a little easier to do. From Spiritberry, by the way, you'll be looking for criticism on that specific drawing. So if you want to critique it, you'll be okay with that. That's always cool when people are looking for critique and everything. But yeah, I would love to take a look at it. I'd be more than happy to. I will say that, like, one of the bad things about getting critique from people online is, unfortunately, a lot of people online don't know what it is to actually give constructive criticism. At least that's been my take so far, and I hope that doesn't happen when you're asking for critique for that specific piece. But I definitely remember back in the day when I was on a different Instagram account and like YouTube and everything. When I was a lot younger, there was one piece that I did that I really wanted people to like look at and tell me what was wrong with it, and someone was just scathing pretty much. And I really hope that doesn't happen. I don't think it would, but because honestly, you're a fantabulous artist, Spiritberry, and I honestly think it's gonna look great no matter what I say. From Ally Heart, oh man, I do have a horrible experience with that. Yeah, a lot of artists and stuff, especially artists online, don't know how to give critique properly. This isn't saying like reaching out and wanting to receive critique is a bad thing, because that's always a good thing when an artist wants to learn and improve. The bad thing is like when people don't know what the diddly dack they're doing. I mean, one thing that, like, I talked about this art teacher like once or twice, but it was my high school art teacher, who one thing that he hounded us on is that he did not care about like the final product or anything about any of our art. What mattered to him is how we discussed each other's art. Like, we would have critique days where we would spend like we had like block classes some days, so there would be some days where it would be like an hour-long class, or it was like an hour 30-minute long class on like Wednesdays and Thursdays, and dude like basically hounded us to talk to each other about our art in constructive ways, which has honestly been amazing because throughout my entire career of trying to learn art, especially when going to college, that was a very useful skill to learn. From Spiritberry. Oh, you've gotten hate comments before? You just block them and move on. That's a good response. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. And they're not worth just listening to if they're just gonna straight up just be like hateful, to be honest. From LA Heart, you posted the first 3 chapters of a story you were writing on Writing Critique Reddit and asked, could you give me some critique on the characterization? Oh no, I can only imagine. One of the worst, like, scathing critiques that I've ever received was in that art class when we were doing one of those long, hour-long things talking about all the stuff that we were doing and what our art pieces were. I had 2 character designs for characters that I was doing a comic with at that point in time. Their names were Valentine and Journey, and I absolutely love them, and I never finished that comic. Anyways, that's beyond the point. And I was like, you know what? I would like some critical analysis. I don't really want like compliments or anything. I just want people to tell me what's wrong with these drawings. And never do that, for one. Never completely like disregard positive feedback. I've learned my lesson from that because there was this one person in my class who just absolutely was like, took every single bit of that drawing and said that it was the worst decision I could have made, pretty much. One of the characters was in an outfit where they were kind of dressed more moderately and out of fashion, like out of style. And that one person was like, why did you do that? That's an awful decision to make. That dress is hideous. And I'm like, well, they dress like that because the character doesn't really, one, follow traditional fashion trends, and 2, is new to trying to express themselves with feminine clothing. So that's why that was a deliberate choice. And oh boy. Apparently that was the wrong thing to say because they got in an argument with me during the class and our teacher had to like shut it down. And I just like cried. It was the worst. From Alley Heart. And oh man, this man went on about how I was. Oh no! The great illusion to give us all when we go to high school. However, you will never be a true writer. Dude, that's awful. I'm so sorry. Alley Heart also said it's actually such bad advice that it's hilarious. Dude, that's completely fair. It's Matcha. Hello! Welcome! No, that sounds like the worst advice ever. Like, this sounds like high school BS. You should just give up. Oh wow, thanks. I mean, at that point, is it just critique? Or is it just them being mean? You know? Sometimes that's also a very fine line. I know, but I would definitely say like the worst thing about in-person critiques that I've ever experienced is people online will sometimes like, you know, say the worst things ever without like a second thought. But people IRL just won't say anything at all. And to me, somehow, sometimes that's worse. You know, instead of receiving just awful advice that's kind of funny, they just stare at you in silence. Alright. I feel like something that was missing from this background was doing some depth. what I'm seeing from these two reference images that I found is that they have a lot of like depth to them. Therefore, I shall be adding that. From Ally Heart, he only read / talked about the first sentence. Oh no! And he actually said, "You said half elf, but you only you know what a half elf is. Your readers don't know about this world." Yeah, I agree with the confusion. Like, and you're saying this was a Redditor? How does a Redditor not know what a half elf is? I feel like there's just points in time where stuff is so synonymous with just culture in general that it's beyond asking for an explanation. Like, that webcomic I was literally reading earlier today pretty much had, like, mythical beings sponsoring people. And when they were explaining these mythical beings, when it was, like, Korea-specific ones, they went into detail about who these people were and what the tales were about. But for, like, ones that are, like, synonymous with our culture, like, you know, the Olympus gods, like, Greek gods and everything, there was no explanation because people already knew who those were. Like, you wouldn't come up to somebody and be like, and explain what a dragon is to them, you know? At least that's my opinion. I would find it weird to have to explain what a dragon is to somebody. But I can totally understand sometimes when people don't know. But, like, assuming a reader doesn't know what something is, sometimes I feel like that's almost sometimes negative writing advice, in my opinion, because assuming that every reader doesn't know something about your story really dumbs down your concept for them sometimes. Because sometimes it's always good to kind of lean into having readers figure out what something is or make assumptions about what something is in order to further the writing, instead of just, like, a half-elf is a magical being who is a cross between blank and blank, you know? Alright. I think I'm gonna add a freeze up here. And if you don't know what a freeze is, speaking of explanations, it is, basically it's like a trim that people will put on the inside or outside of people's walls. I'm just gonna do like a very sketched one. It's just the background. It doesn't need to be like the most perfect thing in the world, you know? And this is the sketch of the background, so definitely doesn't need to be perfect. From Alihart. Yeah, the biggest part of the first chapter was the mystery of what the half-elf was carrying in the cart and why he seemed to be running away with it. Yeah, exactly. Keeping your readers on their toes is a good thing sometimes and can really help out when writing. Alright. Boom. And then we're just gonna add little arches up in here, because why the heck not? Gonna make like little circular dome thingies down here. Grab the rectangle tool to make this easier. Alan Hart, the guy critiquing it, was like, why didn't you explain all of this in the first sentence? Bro was miffed that he had to read more than like 10 words in order to engage with the story. How could he? The absolute nerve of him. I gotta keep remembering that this is a 3D space, quote unquote, so I gotta add the illusion of things being inset the walls. What's the animatic you're making today, by the way? So this is actually probably like a bigger scale animatic slash like probably the biggest animatic I've kind of done. So the last like major one that I was working on, like minus the little silly one that I did, was for my friend's character Aaron, where I was kind of doing like a character trailer for him, for a story that I'm gonna be, you know, working on a comic soon for, which is The Legend of the Disaster Party. Or at least that's the title right now. It probably will stick. But what I am currently working on is another kind of character type trailer for another one of the major players, which is, hold up, I'm trying to get like a good picture of her, which is hard to do because I don't know where they are. Oh. Aha, there we go, that's the thumbnail. Which is another friend's character. Her name is Xana. So, kind of just working on her animatic, and the reason why this one's in horizontal format, because it's longer than 60 seconds, and YouTube Shorts can't be longer than 60 seconds. So, basically, what I'm doing is kind of just going with the flow, making a kind of like actual like YouTube video formatted, or at least regular YouTube video formatted animatic to then actually then like crop it for short form content for like Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts. That's kind of what I'm currently. That's why this one has a different like aspect ratio and stuff than the last one. I'm not completely sold on like the look of this quote unquote temple so far, but you know what? It's fine. These are only quote unquote trailers, so therefore they don't have to be perfect. From Sweetberry, that's so cool, thank you. And then I'll let her, oh, so cute, thank you. Yeah, the character Xana, she's an absolute baby. Speaking of elves, she's an elf, and it's actually really funny because, yeah, you know, like the cliche that elves, like, you know, could be like hundreds of thousands of years old but still be so young. she's like canonically in the story like 60 quote unquote years old, and yet in like elf years she's only like 17. She's like absolute baby, and I love her. I know I love all the characters in this story because, they're absolutely wonderful, and then they make awful decisions because, it's a D&D campaign, and you gotta traumatize your friends. So, start out the story wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, and then, end it not wide-eyed and bushy-tailed and regretting their life choices. Like every good story has. Honestly, I think that's just the progression of stories in general, where you quite literally have, like, the hero's journey where your character travels into the unknown, out of their safety network in their like home, and then are like literally fundamentally changed by the story in order to achieve their goal. But might be occurring a little too many frogs. There are so many. They multiply so much when they're so small. I gotta toss all of them over here. And I know I'm kind of being a little vague about this story and stuff that I'm working on so far, just because, I don't know, because I do want to make it a comic. I'm kind of keeping some of the major stuff under wraps, I guess. I don't, or maybe it's just more fun for me that way. Gotta toss all these little frogs down in here before they like start congesting my computer before you guys can even see them. I don't know, the mini frogs are pretty cute, to be honest. They're not as tiny as the frogs can go, but man, they're pretty snazzy, pretty cute. Alright, I'll toss a few more onto the screen before we continue drawing. There we go. Gotta pull up my references again so I don't forget. Kind of just adding columns on the corners. No, this is the problem with putting these little guys on this screen. I can't get to the tools I need to because they're always in the gosh darn way. Here we go. Another issue that I find myself having while drawing this background is these are some very ornate pictures that I decided to use as reference, and I don't know if I'm going to get that ornate. That's a lot of work. And the more detailed I get on this first drawing of the background, that's as detailed as I have to be on all the drawings of the background. I mean, technically no, but also yes. I don't know, it's just a me problem, so. Boom. Boom. Honestly, I wish I knew more terms and stuff for just like architecture in things in general, because that would make talking about making backgrounds and everything so much easier. Do I have two frogs? I have two frogs attached to my mouse. I thought that one frog was just glitching out really hard, but it's two frogs. Absolute menaces. Dude is just absolutely having, I guess both of them are having a blast just glitching around. Boom. And I do want these columns to have like really ornate tops to them. But I feel like that's gonna be a later me issue, not like a current me issue. That's gonna be line art me's issue. Hello, Dizzy, welcome! I hope you're having a good day so far. You like the frogs everywhere? Thank you, thank you. They slowly multiply over stream. So we'll see how many they get, or we get over the course. They're a little smaller today than they usually are, so we'll probably get a decent amount. Alright. Boom. I think that's pretty much like the back wall done, question mark. On these reference photos, it's just a lot of paneling, a lot of ornate detail, and this drawing's gonna be on here for how many frames? Only like 106 frames, so. Really gotta try and simplify it. Boom. Alright. From Dizzy, nice. Thank you. I will probably head out soon. Just wanted to pop in and say hello. That's totally fine. Thank you so much for heading in and just popping by. Absolutely lovely to have you. Hello, Majestic Squid. Just came in. Oh, thank you, thank you. Alright. I think that's as complicated as the background here is gonna get. Besides, like, some aging and weathering. But I'll do that in the line art phase, because that's a line art problem. Have a good day or night. Have a good one, Dizzy Nate. Thank you so much for joining. Alright. What is important, however, is the giant hole in the floor. I've never drawn a giant hole in the floor, but we're gonna make this like a Charlie Chaplin film and fake it. I don't think anyone here would get that reference, but yeah, have a good night, Dizzy. And or day. Alright. Boom. I think just making like general like cracks and stuff in the floor is pretty much how you make it look. Make it till we make it. Let's go. Exactly. That is my thought process. Exactly. Fake it till you make it, and good enough. That's what gets me through the day, you know? I think that's what gets a lot of people through their day. And I was making like a Charlie Chaplin film reference, but that's a little too bit of a film major of me to make that reference. There we go. And then, of course, there'd be cracks and stuff on the floor, but that's line art's problem. That's line art's problem. which I'm probably be getting to hear soon. I think we'll have like a column there and a column there. Ooh, having extra columns in the background isn't a bad idea. But for right now, they're gonna go down here to suggest the usage of supports underneath the floor. As there is a giant hole in the floor. Probably one of my favorite things to draw whenever I do backgrounds is like weathering or destruction of some kind, so at least get a little bit of that. There we go. That's background pretty much. So we're just gonna blur that just a tad bit and actually continue the line art. Last time I did an animatic, I tried to do some fancy stuff with the line art using like a different pen and everything, but I'm gonna keep it a little simple this time. For the just sake of the general sanity, you know? Alright. Probably shouldn't make my line art pink. As much as I want to, I'm gonna refrain from making the line art pink. Actually switch back to black. And then I'm doing kind of like the swirly columns, so we're gonna do a little bit of that maybe? That makes it a swirly swirly column. Ooh, Ally Heart, you're hungry? Dude, I am too. I totally felt that. I know, I snuck a box of Cheerios into my room the other night. So I think after stream, I'm either might make cereal or we have like one of those like giant Superman tubs of like sherbet ice cream. Totally might dig into that as well. From Majestic Squid, yeah, totally get that. If it's too detailed, it'd take away from the character anyways. You're right. That is some good advice right there. Oh, there's not many good snacks at your house at the moment? Oh, I'm so sorry. I mean, like I said earlier today, I literally made ranch rice, so I can't be one to say, like, oh, how dare you not have good snacks in your house, as, like, my options are putting a bunch of ranch in white rice or, Cheerios. Ooh, swirly column? Yeah, I gotta love them swirly columns. This is meant to be semi of a fancy place. You gotta have semi-fancy columns. Therefore, swirly columns. I'll probably do the top of the column swirly as well, just for consistency's sake. And this is technically like the establishing shot, so I guess I could make an excuse to have a little bit more detail in here. But I think the most reason why I'm like debating how much detail or no detail there should be in here is just because this is the first time I'm drawing like a setting that I want to come back to. So I want to make sure that I get the understanding of the setting down without just like making it unrecognizable later and too generic. You know, the top swirly column, we're not going to talk about the top of the swirly column. I'm gonna pretty much kind of go through and do them all one by one. From Majestic Squid, you love ranch, love white rice, but I've never heard of them together, and that combination slightly scares you. I mean, I wouldn't be wrong if I said it's like one of those cursed combinations that like you only speak about in like shallow breaths as you talk to someone who puts like ketchup on, I don't know, like a cinnamon roll or something. It's actually not too bad. Um, Definitely say I'm pretty guilty of just having a childhood of like putting random stuff with rice and seeing how it tastes. Like, pretty much like cheese and rice, ranch and rice, which neither are actually bad. Especially because it's pretty much like rice. Honestly, doesn't really taste like much, at least to me. If you get like just like plain jasmine rice, so you just have ranch with substance, I guess, is one way to look at it. Is that the right way to look at it? Absolutely not. But it is one way to look at it. But I would definitely say it's not the most cursed combination I've ever heard of in my life. From Majestic Squid, ketchup on a cinnamon roll. Nah, I'm running. Ranch rice doesn't sound bad though. I mean, I can go with that, so I get that. Yeah. No, someone in one of my classes at some point in time literally was like, "Yeah, I put ketchup on everything," and of course, when someone puts a condiment on everything, you gotta test how far it goes, right? And the cinnamon roll was an actual thing, apparently. Like, someone was like, "Oh, you put it on, like, pastries and stuff? Gross." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, totally. I'll put it on, like, I don't know. I can't remember the exact things that they mentioned, but cinnamon roll is definitely one of them." I don't know. I wish I could ask them, but it's been years. Now, I don't know if I want to invite that chaotic energy back into my life. Life is chaotic, but putting ketchup on a cinnamon roll is a little too much chaos for me. I mean, and maybe that person just had some weird taste buds, because that's not like the first or only time they like spoke of enjoying like a really cursed combination. From Majestic Squid, really, that person is just insane to me. That person was so bold. Yeah, they were, and like I said, is that the first time they ever like spoke of, or it wasn't the last time they ever spoke of a cursed combination. Apparently, there was an argument in class one day about them drinking like chocolate milk mixed with their Sprite or something, and I just like, I couldn't. I couldn't. From Ally Heart, okay, you're sleepy, so you're gonna have to find a snack and get some sleep. You'll try and stay longer next stream. Don't worry about it. Thank you so much for joining. Have a great night. Sleep well. Yep, I agree with Majestic Squid. Sleep well. Yeah, get them good season. Honestly, I wish I could go to bed at like a decent time, but I, unfortunately, over the course of the summer have turned nocturnal. My bedtime is 6 a.m., so I would not recommend that, by the way. I'm taking way too much time on making this background. Whoops. Alright, I think it's because my stabilization is, like, insanely high. I feel like if I turn that down, I'll be a little bit more confident with my lines and be able to speed things up just slightly. Something I'm really trying to work on right now as well is just line confidence and try not to solely rely on stabilization for doing line art. From Majestic Squid, your sleeping is enforced. Although at first you saw it as a mad thing, it's definitely a good thing during the school year to have that habit. No, definitely. Having a sleep schedule is like the number one way for someone to actually, one, retain a schedule, and two, enjoy that schedule. I'm just like, I guess, built different and have a god awful sleep schedule. Unfortunately. Honestly, sometimes I definitely wish I did have someone to be like, alright, it's bedtime, and I'd be like, okay. Because having like a strict schedule is definitely something that will improve your quality of life, or at least in the past it has mine. But you know, sometimes you just have things to draw and games to play, and then it's 5 a.m. From Majestic Squid, you have so many friends who are like, yeah, it's like a.m. and I'm always the friend who screams at them to go to sleep. You know what? That's so real. I've definitely had points in time where, I'm staying up ungodly late. Or technically it's early because it's mostly in the wee hours of the morning. And I'll get like a text from a family member who is like, who does night shifts, so they're, they have an awful sleep schedule because of their job. And they'll like text me like, I don't know, at 3 a.m. being like, hey, I know you don't have to, just so you know, you don't have to answer this in the morning, but, and they'll ask me a question, I'll like respond 5 minutes later. And they'll like send me like a eye rolling emoji. From Majestic Squid. See, I'm sleeping. What time is it for you? Get ready for the go to sleep hammer? Don't worry, it's not too late for me. It's only like 11 p.m. where I'm at, which is, I mean, not awful. Especially for for my sleep standards. Like, stream has only like for once ever for me gone past like 1 a.m. But that was like a special stream. That was like a long one, so. Man, you can almost tell which little tiny bottom was made with stabilization on the pen and which one wasn't. That's okay though. Honestly, I find it funny. I've spent like already like an hour on a single background. Here, Barry, you gotta go to sleep now. It's late for you. That's totally fine. Have a good night. Hope you have a great day tomorrow. Boom. Alright. These bottoms are definitely doing varying sizes. But I can definitely tell my computer's lagging out just a slight amount because of how many frogs there are. There aren't too many on this screen, but like on my second desktop, they're absolutely going insane. Majestic Squid, the people won't notice the differences in the background. They never know. Yeah. They never will know, but I'll know. I don't know if I could live with myself, being like, oh man, it'll be fine. No one will notice. And then there's always that one person who notices and never says anything, but you always know there's that one person because it's yourself. You know what you did. You can't escape the sins of your past. If you draw an ugly column bottom, then you will always know that you drew an ugly column bottom. And you will never escape. Alright, you know what? We're just gonna erase that and do it again. And this time, no matter what it looks like, we'll just keep it. Definitely doesn't help just with the general lag that's unfortunately happening on my computer. I'd like to be like, ooh, swirlies, but then look at the characters. Oh, awesome. You're so right. Someone always knows. Exactly. Could I ever forgive myself knowing that someone somewhere, most likely yourself, will never forget? Alright. Now the easy part is using a line tool to make the tops. Ah. Or, not the tops, but the bodies of the columns. Honestly, I should probably be using a smaller brush for that, but eh. Definitely not even, but definitely not a problem. The line tool is our friend, for real. Dude. Nothing's better than just, you know, a computer-generated line, am I right? I mean, it's not fully computer-generated, but yeah, you know what I mean, right? Oh, I forgot about the column in the corner. Oh, no. Sorry it's so silent. I was just tryharding for a real sec, you know? Sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and try hard for a hot minute. You know what? That looks fine. That'll work. Maybe I'll definitely do the rest of these backgrounds off stream, because if it's gonna take me an hour to do one background, I don't know if time management wise it'll be worth it. Boom, boom, boom. You know what? That's not terrible. Is it absolutely proportional? No. See, that's the problem with streaming stuff, is that there'll always be the person who knows, and yourself, because you've said it, and it's been recorded. Majestic Squid, also fun fact, you're a lot newer here and came to your channel due to the animatic you made with the clip of the epic fun waiting. For real, got me hooked with angst. Oh, I'm glad you liked the animatic, and thank you for joining stream. That was kind of like the first I guess bigger animatic that I'm doing, and then this one is kind of for the same story. It's just for a different character. but I'm also a fellow angst enjoyer. There's nothing better than just like seeing characters you love just, suffer just a little bit. Alrighty. Gonna be kind of doing these freezes just slightly different, and then I drew them in the sketch just for clarity's sake. But it's an absolute blast to have you on stream, so thank you for joining, Majestic Squid. Alright. You feel like creators and story makers OCs could be the most trauma. I don't think my characters would like me that much. Yeah, I think my characters wouldn't like me very much either. But it's for the character development, you know? Could they really hate you if you're just like, but it was for the character development. You needed it to overcome your childhood trauma. And they'll look at you and be like, that's why you offed my best friend? And just be like, mayhaps. No problem, you were glad you joined? Oh, well, I'm absolutely glad to have you. I know that's probably why the OC versus creator trend went absolutely wild, because people were like, you know what? I don't think my characters would like me traumatizing them very much. I don't think they'd take that very well. Getting a little bit more sketchy with the background, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. You've got one character who is sentient to at least your persona, aka a squid cough. And bro calls me out so much. It's pretty funny since no one believes him. Oh, I love fourth wall breaking characters. Absolute. Dude, there's something about like a character just looking you dead in the face and being like, why'd you write that into this story? And calling you out. Always fun, always fun, always love those characters. Because sometimes people gotta call you out on stuff, and it might as well be your own characters in your stories, because that's just plain out fun. From the character, you're telling me I could have lived a normal, happy life, and you said we needed plot? Creator. Yes. I mean, would it make them happier to let them know that that sometimes their plot both gives people entertainment and has people empathize with them, you know? Sure, you lost both your legs in the war, but you made someone feel happy about themselves, you know? It's a small price to pay. How selfish of them to want both their legs. That is a joke. That is absolutely a joke. And only towards characters. But I only say that because I have a character in a story who unfortunately loses both of his legs in a war. And I imagine that would be what he would say to me. Just like, how dare you? man, I'm so happy right now. Creator, cough, cough. You're losing your mom, cough, cough. Character, what? Nah, like actually. This is kind of funny because I was reading a webcomic earlier, which I've probably mentioned like 6 times on this stream already. Whoopsies. But that's like one of the main plot points is that these characters are pretty much making stories for entertainment and have to live through awful scenarios repeatedly for just people's enjoyment. And that's like the main story beat of just like, wow, we're happy. Oh no, what's gonna happen next? Because they can never have a moment of peace. But it's also good to give your characters not only just, you know, trauma, but it's also good to give your characters some happy times too. Because that makes the trauma hurt worse. That's always the best part. Because your characters have to feel it when they're gotta be sad, you know? That's a pretty funny idea for a webcomic. What's it called? Poor characters sob. It's called... It's on Webtoon. It is, it's based on a web novel. I know that much. Because my friend reads the web novel. Give me a moment. I don't know where it went. I gotta look it up. Omniscient Reader, or Omniscient? Omniscient? It's Omniscient Reader. I mean, it's on the Webtoon, it's on Webtoon. It's one of the originals. It has, a web novel it's based off of. It is a wonderful series. It's like 200 episodes in, or so. So if you're looking for a fun read, that also, you know, these characters absolutely are just getting the worst sticks imaginable, like the shortest sticks imaginable. Yeah. Thank you. I'm so bad at pronunciation of things. Yeah, recently got back into that series. It's a great series. That's pretty much like the whole premise of the series is creating stories that are absolutely awful for the characters, but you know, you gotta finish the scenarios. You could spell, not pronounce. I wish I could do both, to be honest. I can't spell or pronounce. I got nerfed with that, got nerfed with that good old dyslexia, you know? Really just said, you can draw, but you can't do much else. And that's why I'm here, you know? Alright. I think I might finish up this background and probably call it for stream. You're dyslexic too? Let's go! Heck yeah. Birds of a feather flock together, I guess. But I love not being able to read things properly. It's my favorite. Oh, you got a lot of help from your mom? Aw. That pretty much helped you. Yeah, unfortunately dyslexia runs through my family, so the moment I'd be like, hey, can I get help with like the spelling bee? I get like a deadpan look and be like, man, you're on your own, to be honest. And I'd be like, aw, shucks. That really sucks. Probably something I should, like, have a training arc about. And, I don't know. There's definitely online classes for spelling. I'm a very, like, if it isn't spelled how it's pronounced, I will never spell it correctly. Or at least never spell it correct enough for autocorrect to find out what it is. Oof, you know that your mom and you have probably a smaller degree. You can write alright, but sometimes it just looks weird, like Kleenex. That's a weird spelling. Dude, Kleenex, awful spelling. The word dyslexic in general, awful spelling. Probably one of the hardest words for me to get my head around, especially like when I was younger, was literally just the word sentence or science. I could not figure out how to spell either of those words for the longest time, and they're exactly how they sound. I just couldn't get my head around like E's and S's for some reason. Not to mention like trying to type stuff out. Yeah, why did they give people who struggle with dyslexia the word dyslexic? Dude, they do this all the time apparently, because if you think of the word stutter, it has an S and like 2 T's in it. Or lisp, where it has like an S, just a really long S sound. Like, why do they do that? It's not necessary for someone who has something to struggle pronouncing, spelling, or saying like something they have, you know? Necessary is a word you struggle with. Ooh, dude, yeah, no, definitely felt that. Since you add eyes in there all the time, especially if I go unnecessarily. So yeah. Every time. One that I also get wrong, like, all the time is, just spelling the word illustration. I don't think I've spelled illustration correctly the first time since I came to this, like, since I was born on this planet, you know? I don't think I've ever spelled illustration correctly. And in those cracks and weathering details. Illustration help, that was wrong. Exactly. It's ill-u because it has a U in it. Because I always think it's an I, not a U. Yeah, it's illustration instead of illustration. Oh, man. The English lexicon just sucks. It's the worst. I mean, there are worse ones out there to learn, but man, not even our word laws follow like them to a T. You know, like the I before E except after C kind of statement. Like, that's only right 50% of the time. Oh, love your details like the weathering, by the way. You're not a background person, so you really love seeing this. Oh, thank you. I'm trying to get better at backgrounds. That's something I'm very, like, trying to do. I just think, like, illusion, illustration, ooh, that's a good way to think about it. But, like, they don't sound the same? No, they don't! Not at all. They do not sound the same at all. One word that I definitely have to like spell out all the time because I forget it has a U in it is language. Because you don't say the word or the U in language, right? Or at least I don't. So I literally have to like spell it out in my mind like age. Or otherwise I will completely forget. Oh, illegitimate. Mm-hmm. Yeah, felt that, felt that. I don't know. One that kind of got me recently, and this is just because, like, um, just because of, like, my regional dialect has, like, uh, I don't pronounce T's all that often in the middle of words, because I'm just apparently that much of a cowboy. Um, so instead of saying, like, mountain, I do mountain, and that's just, like, a regional dialect thing. But when I was recently trying to write out like tightrope or tightrope, you know, the thing that people walk across where it's like a rope tied from like one end of a building to the other. I always thought it was like spelled type rope, as in like TYPE rope instead of tight rope, because I've never once heard the T pronounced in the middle of it from user. Maybe because, oh, talking about illegitimate, maybe because it has a T, uh, as the S. Yeah, maybe. Boom. I know, words are hard, man. Words are both the best thing and the worst thing to ever happen to civilization, I think. Or before. Yeah, no, that's totally fair. From Majestic Squid, bro, grammar is your bane, honestly. This is your natural language, but like it so confuses me, probably dyslexia though as well. I mean, I used to be really good at grammar. That was like the one thing that would get me through a lot of like English classes is just like use of grammar. But I have fallen off of that high horse so hard. My grammar unfortunately has suffered a lot in the recent years. But it's really tricky. My brother, however, is like the best at grammar ever. So who needs Grammarly when I could just be like, "Hey yo, bro, can you read this essay for me and spell check and or grammar check it?" And I'll take it back and I'll run it through Grammarly just one more time just to make sure. And it's like pristine. Absolutely am blessed to have that man in my life. Dyslexia is one of those weird things where I feel like it affects people the same, but also differently in certain ways. Grammarly can help. I do use Grammarly here and there. I don't know. Recently, it's really gone to the pay to win kind of model. Start saying the ad. No, it totally can. But like recently, I've been trying to use Grammarly again. And what really sucks is a lot of the um old errors and stuff that it used to fix for free, you now have to pay premium for, and it really irks me the wrong way. But that's just me, because I'm like, oh, this it would be like a simple punctuation error that it would normally fix without having to pay for premium, and then it would just absolutely not do it anymore for some reason. You agree with that? Sometimes it's just helping, and then it's like, oh, I won't help you till you get a membership. Real sad. Yeah, Grammarly can help with a price. Yep, most definitely. Also, user, I wasn't able to say welcome. So hello, user, welcome. But yeah, that Grammarly got me through high school, and then absolutely just like fell off. To be honest, like a pay-to-win game, or like a free-to-play game, I should say. They hook you in for the first couple of years, and then it's like, yep, nope, screw you, and you're like, oh no, how dare you. I don't know. I feel like my number one issue with having dyslexia, or maybe it's something else. I don't know if it's exactly dyslexia, but whenever I type stuff out, I have to physically look at my keyboard, because if I don't, if I like glance down at my keyboard just to make sure like my hands are in the right place, I will completely, like, on a glance mix up letters and type wrong things. So I like exclusively look at my keyboard when typing. But I think that's just a me thing. I've yet to find someone else who has like the same issue, I guess. Alright. I feel like pretty much almost done with the background, and then we'll call it for this live stream. It's a little shorter than usual, but I'm a little eepy today. So I apologize if I've been like kind of weird today. Just felt a little out of it, but from Majestic Squid, I mean, it really depends on the person, you'd say. For you, you're pretty good at typing without looking, but I do look down every now and again, and if I start messing up, I gotta stare. Anywho, probably it was fun. Thank you so much for being on stream and kind of typing and messaging around. So you'll have to try again at some point. Yeah, no, hop in whenever you want to. I'll be trying to stream pretty consistently, so probably gonna head off here soon as well, since the background's pretty much finished for this first part. So speaking of EP, clears throat calmly. Sleep as soon as you get done. We'll see. We'll see if my insomnia will let me sleep. That is the question. And there we go. Out of a whole like minute and 30-second animation, I got one background done. Let's go. Progress is progress. But speaking of this animatic, speaking of Majestic Squid, thank you for joining. I hope you have a great night and or day. Have a good one. For the rest of this kind of stream, I'll definitely be counting frogs. So we'll see how many have accumulated over the course of the stream. And as that's kind of going on, I'm gonna have kind of like the rough animatic that I have so far playing in the background. There will be no sound. It will be awkward. It's just gonna be moving pictures in the background. I'm gonna move the second play button because I haven't finished it all yet. But I'll just be moving it there. This will be playing in the background as Count Some Frogs. Alright. See how many frogs we have. Hello, welcome. Alright, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, whoops, that's my OBS screen. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. How many frogs? Okay, so over the course of stream, there'll be there's these little frogs running around, and they'll like slowly accumulate over the course of stream. So since stream is kind of wrapping up right now, kind of just counting how many there are in general. So that's kind of why it's the how many frogs. We were at like 13 or 15, right? I'm gonna go with 15. I don't exactly remember, but 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, there we go, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, there we go, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. We have just under 50. Yeah, that's a lot of frogs. There's a decent amount of frogs. The stream's pretty much gonna be wrapping up here. Thank you for stopping by, Adriana. Sorry, stream's ending so soon, but yeah, frog army. Got a decent amount of these little guys running around, so thank you so much for joining stream. Apologies it wasn't for that long. But I hope anyone watching has a good morning and or night. Make sure you drink some water, make sure you touch some grass, and most importantly, make sure you stretch. Oh, thank you for following.